My name is Stefan Dronjak. I'm from Niagara Falls, Ontario, and this is my first time fighting on Three Lions Promotions.
Perfect. What makes you want to be a fighter?
That's a pretty interesting question. I don't know, man. Just something I love the most, man. Like, I couldn't really give you an answer. I just feel me, you know, like through all the nerves when you're leading up to the fight, the training, you know, like that moment when your hand is raised, it just makes me know, like, this is what I'm here to do. This is what I love to do.
So,
like, this shit is fun to me.
So, you have your first fight on a Three Lions card. Tell me about your boxing, or sorry, your fighting career, starting from kickboxing amateur to going into boxing, testing the waters over here. Because I feel like you're just a straight fighter. You don't care.
I fight. That's one of my coach's favorite sayings, fighters fight. That's what I do. So what a lot of people don't know is that I actually started with boxing. Like way before I started Muay Thai kickboxing, I was 10 years old. I started boxing with Jamie Phelps. And then when I was about maybe 13, 14 years old, I started training with Billy Irwin. And just training. I wasn't getting a lot of fights. Boxing Ontario was in kind of a funny spot at that time. And I was kind of getting a little like about it. But thank God for my mother. She told me, hey, I got this old friend from high school. Teaches this Muay Thai thing out in Cambridge. Do you know what it is? And I said, I never heard of it before, but whatever. So we went out. I did like a 1 hour private session on Saturday. I was like, holy crap, I love this. So I started like going and staying the whole weekend. So I'd box throughout the week with Billy, and then I'd go there and stay the weekend and start training. And then I'd start skipping school like Thursday and find a way up there, stay from Thursday to Monday. My teachers began so pissed off at me for skipping. So I don't know how I graduated, but I started saying summer, Christmas break, March break, whatever. By that time, but towards the end, I was doing like probably 2 days of school a week. I don't know how I graduated. But then I kind of just moved in fully with my coach in Cambridge. You know, I was causing a little bit of hell out here, and where I was from, Welland, you know, my poor mother. And you know, she kind of led me in the right direction, you know. So I thank God for her a lot, because I don't want to say she kicked me out, but it was kind of like a nice way of her saying, you're like where you belong is out there. Like, that's what you do. That's where you like she wasn't even mad that I was like missing school. She's like, I'd rather you pursue what you love. So I that's what happened. I moved in with my coach, and I was pretty much all day in the gym. If I wasn't training, I was teaching. If I wasn't teaching, I was cleaning. If I wasn't doing that, I was doing desk work. Like, the house we lived at was just a base. It was like we just go there to sleep and eat, let the dogs out, and go right back to the gym from like 5 in the morning on and off till 9 at night. And then, yeah, man, so I would just fight with him. It was mainly at that time Muay Thai and kickboxing. And I might have got a couple amateur boxing fights in there. And then when I was 19 years old, I moved to Thailand. And I stayed there for 8 months by myself. I lived in the gym with the Thais. It was an old school gym too. I could remember like a good 2 straight months. I was the only white boy there and trying to learn the language. And oh my God, I was in such great shape there. That's where my pro career started, was out there in Thailand and fighting on drop of a dime notices for like $50 Canadian equivalent to whatever baht is. But you know what? It was some of the best time of my life, man. Like, I was fighting on I remember the one time I fought on this big show in Thailand called Max Muay Thai. I got it on a 4-hour notice. Like, I trained that morning. My coach came and knocked on my door. Stefan, you fight tonight. I'm like, oh my God, okay. And I won. I knocked him out in the second. Like, Thailand really that was like that level up moment. And then I came back, and then just when I was wanted to come back and get things rolling, COVID hit. So I was kind of at a standstill, and then you know, it passed, and I was training, and I got like a fight and whatever. And then Lucas Body, who is a amazing old training partner of mine, way back from the Irwin boxing days, and he's an amazing fighter as well. He said he was throwing a show in last summer at the Scotia Center. He's like, it's boxing. And I overheard him chit-chatting, whatever, like talking about fighting fights. I'm like, I'll do it. not knowing it would lead to my first ever pro boxing fight, and I won in 38 seconds. I knocked him out.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. That was such a great fight too, and yeah. So that this is a great story, man. I mean, that's cool that you went and lived in Thailand, and I'd love to know more about it. Fun.
Let's ask you a question. Let's ask interview a question. What did you think of that fight?
That was a great fight.
That was a banger.
That was a
Oh my
banger.
gosh.
I was like, this guy likes to fight. He's not scared. He's not running around. He'll bring it. He'll do it, right? So
My coaches and dad get so pissed off
The
when
best-
they see me like taking shots and smiling. Oh, they hate that.
the best was like the amount of people that came, the energy that the Niagara people bring to a card.
Yeah.
And I know this because I'm from Niagara. I love that. Like when I went there, I knew everyone there.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit! Like everyone's here that I know, and I'm like, man, and they're all screaming for you. So it was cool. You and Lupia. Right?
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That was awesome. You know, it was a show in Toronto at Rebel Nightclub, and the whole place was sold out to either Josh Lupia, again another amazing boxer, and Stefan Dronjak. Like all the tables were sold to either Dronjak or Lupia fans, and like everybody in there. So you're right. Niagara does bring a lot of. They bring the hype, you know, Serbians, Italians, you know, like, oh, they're loud.
They love the fight game. That's
They do, yeah.
Okay, so now the big one in Hamilton, under 3 Lions. Talk about this fight coming up.
I'm just super excited, man. You know, like I've always seen 3 Lions promotions, like the fights they throw, the animals they have on there. Like a good friend of mine and a sparring partner, Antonio Napolitano. He's fought on there a lot. Like I've always liked the organization. I've always thought like, man, I could fight on this. And then the opportunity presented itself, and I'm just excited, man. I really think 3 Lions is like so organized and so like, I think it's that step to like they're there with all the top in the world, with the people they're putting on the show and stuff. Like with 3 Lions has a lot of great boxers. I'm just excited to fight on this. In my mind, this is probably the biggest boxing promotion I've been on, you know, even with the venue and everything, even like, you know, fighting at Rebel, my last fight, I think this is still like bigger than that. I'm excited, man. That's all I can really say. I'm just excited.
100% we're excited. So you'll be fighting February 11th, 3 Lions card against Jose Jorindo Ortez from Mexico. This is going to be your 3rd pro fight.
Boxing.
How do you see this fight going? What excites you about this fight?
What excites me about the fight is 3 Lions itself, you know, like, again, like I just said last time, biggest boxing promotion in Canada in my mind. How do I see the fight going? I'm definitely seeing a W. I'm definitely seeing a win by dub. You know, obviously, I'm not really a cocky guy, like, at all, like, even though, like, in the ring, I might, like, smile and whatever, but it's all respect to my opponent. I just love what I'm doing in there. But I'm definitely always going to go for a KO, you know, like, I'm not going to try to force it, but if the opportunity presents itself, I know I have that crazy power in me, and, like, if I just place it right, and that's something I've been working on in all my fights. So how I see this fight going is I'm definitely shooting for a win by KO.
Nice. Now, have you seen any tape on this fighter?
Not really. No. Like, I sent the box rec to my coaches and stuff like that, but a lot of time I don't like hyping myself up, you know? Like, I don't really watch too much film on my opponents. Maybe around, like, the last week or whatever, just to sharpen things up and, you know, just take a look at what I'm dealing with. But other than that, I don't really study too much opponents. You know, fighters fight. That's always been my mentality, you know. Like, you go in there and you figure it out as it goes. You know, it's a fight.
Exactly, it's a fight.
You know.
And I like how you said earlier how fighters fight.
That's a shame, you know. Like, I see a lot of, like, if I'm talking like the pro world champion level, you know, you see all these guys ducking and not fighting, not accepting fights, and it's so sad, man. Like, especially with boxers, you know, it's like they pick and choose who they fight. It's like, you would never find that in some, like, Muay Thai, like Thailand Muay Thai. Like, never, bro. Like, you fight, like, you're a champion, okay, you gotta defend your belt. You can't just, like, pick and choose who's gonna come and take the belt from you. But that's why I like 3 Lions again, because they just, like, you got animals in there who are just, who I think have the same mentality as me as fighters fight. Like, for example, the champion, Ryan Riziki, you know, like, his mentality is really, like, I love it. Like, it just, listen to him speak and, like, his Instagram posts and stuff, like, he has that mentality of, like, fighters fight, you know, he's going there to fight. And that's why I like Three Lions, you know, I think you guys really bring that kind of crowd, that kind of environment. And
I appreciate that. So, any predictions on this? Last, I appreciate you letting me interview today and taking the time to come out. The last thing is, any predictions on this fight, and what can the Hamilton fans expect to see you in Hamilton?
Well, my prediction is I'm going to win. You know, I don't know how, whether it's going to be a KO to the body, to the head. You know, I'm going for a W. That's what I come here to do. I don't come here to lose. I come here to fight. I come here to win. So it's, and if I'm talking a prediction that's not my fight, I think it's going to be an amazing show, man. I think it's going to be a fucking banger. Like, we got some animals on the show, like a lot of talent. I think the whole card, like, unselfishly, the whole card, not just my fight. Like, that's something I'd have to say to all my fans, man. Like, don't, like, okay, thank you, appreciate the support for me, but you got to come watch these guys fight. Like, it's gonna be a fucking barn burner. It's gonna be awesome. And for all the fans in Hamilton who haven't probably seen me yet, get ready, because, you know, I don't come to fuck around, I come to fight.
Nice, thank you, I really appreciate it.